Peaches. Welcome to our 7th episode of season 2, which is also the last episode of the year. I'm Erica.
And I'm Joyce.
And today we have our guest who is happily recording with us for the second time as the duo podcast.
Hi guys.
Hi, thank you for joining us for the second time. We're so happy that we have someone to collaborate finally.
I know.
No, thank you for having us again.
Yeah. I think with our ritual, let's start off with asking everybody,
how's your week?
1 to 10.
How was yours?
You start first.
Me stuff. My week has been 7.
That's pretty good. Pretty good.
How is
Wait.
Why a 7? I mean, 7's always our answer too, to be honest.
It's like an average.
Yes.
Yeah, for most
My
people.
7, because I have just been lazing around at home, so it's good.
No, but it's
chill
Christmas,
out day.
right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for you. I mean, do you guys have any plans to celebrate Christmas? Do you celebrate? I don't know, but one Christmas does not feel like Christmas to me. I'm sorry, guys. So
Yeah.
how do you?
I don't know. It's kind of like normal for us, so we don't know. Well, I kind of know because I usually go to Hong Kong at the end of the year, but yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of used to the heat, so yeah. But we don't really have any plans this year. Usually, we would try and do like a mini getaway or travel somewhere, but not this year. Just gonna chill, rest and relax and rejuvenate.
And record your podcast.
Yeah, that too.
Are you recording more before the year ends, or have you already hit your?
We've got a few more recordings, but officially our season ended today, actually.
Yeah.
Season 2.
Wow.
But we've got
Okay,
recordings with
okay.
some guests.
But
Yeah.
how long does one season normally last for you guys?
Well, this is just the first year we've done like a full year. So we're just doing each year as one season. I don't know how people do it. This is just how we're like, this makes sense to us.
So it's kind of like a anniversary for you guys as well. First anniversary.
Our anniversary is, what was it? May?
Yeah, April, May-ish.
May,
Oh,
I
okay.
think. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the first year we did it, the first season was only like half a year because we started mid-year. Yeah.
Okay. That's nice.
Yeah.
So 7.
Yeah, 7 out of 10. Do you want to share? What is your rating?
This is always like the hardest question that I always have to answer. I don't know why. I put so much pressure into giving a number.
Because you're also precise. You give a very
yes, like it's like a
like a
8.3, you know, for like no reason.
Mm.
But I think this week I would give it an 8. Just because I don't know.
Good.
The holiday seasons are coming, and it's also the last week of my work. So
I'm so jealous.
Nice.
I can dive in a little bit more, but I'm actually traveling to Okinawa on Thursday.
そうですね。
すごい。
はい、どうもありがとうございます。
Come in.
Yes. So that's gonna be the plan, and then after that, I'm also gonna be going to Thailand for about a week. With my parents and also my boyfriend as well. So
Cool.
it should be a really nice 2 weeks of getaway. For the New Year's as well. So yeah, I'll give it an 8. How about you?
I don't have anything exciting going on compared to you guys.
I'm here. That should be exciting.
Oh, sorry, right,
like the
right.
highlight
And you
of your
guys are
week.
here. Sorry, how can I forget my?
So rude.
Sorry. Hey, I blame it on Tuesday. Today's just Tuesday. Yeah, but this is not my last work week of the year. And today's just Tuesdays. I'll give it like a fairly like a 6, 7.
That's not too bad too.
Yeah,
That's still better than average. So
everyone's
still all right.
Average.
yeah, that's true.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm just like looking forward to next year already. Kind of, yeah, planning ahead, thinking what I can do more, what I can do better, and yeah, and just chilling basically, working out a lot. Yeah, that's like
cool.
Nice.
my new thing.
That's
Yeah.
good. It's a good thing.
Oh, actually, I go to this new gym They also have a branch in Australia. It's called BFT.
Oh wow.
Have you heard of it?
EFT.
BFT.
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't heard of
Unfortunately,
it.
no.
Oh,
Maybe in
okay.
Sydney and Melbourne, I don't know, but not in Brisbane.
Maybe. Because I've had a lot of like Australians coming over, Aussies coming over. Who
Ah,
used
cool.
go to the gym in Australia. But yeah, that
Yeah.
aside, fairly like just living a fairly busy life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, work-wise.
Mm.
It's good.
Yeah.
And I think with that being said, we should ask them our random question of the day.
Oh yeah. So I have this question that was on us the outline that we sent to you guys, but I have one more question before that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's spice it up.
I just got that when I was watching Kim's Convenience just now. And
Kim's Convenience.
have you guys watched that before?
I've watched the
watched it,
first
yeah.
few
First
and
few.
then I kind of forgot about it.
Yeah.
But it's good though. It's funny.
It's funny. I mean, Abbas is really funny. But yeah, my
Yeah.
question is so my question is, why do you think not why, but do you think parents are lying to their kids when they keep telling them that just work hard and you can be anything you want when you grow up?
Interesting.
I don't think it's lying.
I don't think it's
I think there's some truth to it.
lying. Yeah, I think it's
Anything,
more
though.
like
Because
yeah,
Abba's answer is you can be something, but you cannot be anything. Let's get real.
I
Do you know
think it depends on how, if you're a really realistic person, you might think that that's lying. But I feel like just their approach of what they're trying to do is to give that kid hope to be like, if you try and put your work into it, you can achieve the things that you want to achieve. That's how I would take it.
Yeah.
It's a good boost. It's a good motivator for the kids.
But would you think that like the kids would get really upset when they grow up and at some point they're like, why did my parents tell me that I can be anything? That now I want to be an astronaut, I can't be an astronaut, like that kind of stuff.
I think it comes with other things. Like, obviously, I can't speak to every parent out there or how people talk to their kids, but it's also there might be parents that are like, even if you don't get to achieve or you change your path or your direction, it's okay if you didn't achieve what you wanted to achieve. So I think if it's just that statement alone, you might think that, but along with other encouragements, I think it's not really like you haven't achieve what you wanted to do or you haven't achieved anything in life. It's like, I feel like parents mostly would be like, even if you don't get to where you want to be, it's okay.
Okay. So it's kind of like, okay, anything is like subjective. So
yeah.
It depends on like what happens after the conversation too, right? Like if well, even if the conversation stops there, like throughout their whole upbringing, like the children's upbringing, like it really depends on how the parent is reacting to like their, you know, approach to life and how they want to grow up. Like if throughout that their whole growing up phase they're very supportive, then I think coming back to that phase one, like what they said, then that's very valid. But if the pressure is in a very like different kind of tone or in a negative tone, in a pressure kind of tone, then that hits differently too. So
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Fair. I like the answer. Yeah.
Should we ask the other question? I kind of want to talk about I just kind of want to dive into the topic though.
Yeah, let's dive into this topic. We'll save that for another time.
Okay.
So you have to come and
yeah. Next year.
In Q1,
barely next year. But yeah, with that said, I think today's podcast or today's topic is quite relevant to the time of the year, the month of the year.
Mostly.
Well, to that too, why not, right? Because it's towards the end of the year and it's December.
Yeah.
But this topic it's really just about, I guess, traveling in general, right? Traveling with us being in Hong Kong
in your 20s.
In our 20s, and then them being in Brisbane as well, in Australia. That's totally different kind of how the cultures kind of relate to each other, how they differentiate each other. And then just, I guess, just about how everyone's traveling style is. And then just a little bit about culture like Hong Kong and Australia, how that intertwines.
Yeah.
With it. So yeah, that's just kind of, should we dive?
Love it.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'll just start off by saying that the reason why I personally want to touch on this is also because I've been traveling quite a bit this year.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, since since it has opened up, since COVID, and it just I used to have more like interesting I used to have some interesting traveling stories too, but mostly to do with like alcohol, because I went out quite a lot when I was traveling, and then recently I think those interesting stories is more to do with me encountering with different people, just like the most spontaneous encounters, and just learning about their stories, their cultures, their everything. And so that's why I want to talk about it. But yeah, so just let me ask you this question. Do you have any like very like interesting or like the most memorable traveling experience like so far
that you guys might want to share?
Yeah.
It really depends on what you mean interesting, but like you said, it's usually the spontaneous stuff that makes it interesting and fun, and also like the drinking stories is what makes it crazy. So I don't have anything that's like out of the wild, but when I used to, so like I told you guys off mic, I used to go back to Hong Kong like for 3 months because I had uni breaks. So it's like 3 months, like from December to February. And I had friends there in Hong Kong too, so we'll just go back. Like my friend also lives in Australia, and we just go back. And because that's like our holiday, we muck around, we just go around and drink. One instance was she lives with her auntie, and her auntie's also quite spontaneous. Like she's like older than us, but she's very like young, wild, and free. And she was like, "Let's just go China." I was like, "Yeah, okay." And we booked some random bus tour to China, and I honestly don't know where I went in China. We just like crossed the borders and traveled around and ended
Shenzhen,
up.
right? Is it Shenzhen?
Nah, it wasn't because I've been there before and I'm like, this is not
Okay.
Shenzhen. I don't know where we went. We traveled for like 4 days in a bus and yeah, with some friends. And my friend also broke my seat very early in the trip. So I was sitting on that bus with a broken chair that has no support. So I had to like,
That's an
the seat was
interesting story.
flopping
You
around.
never asked like where did you guys take me?
I probably did ask, but because it's all in Chinese, I'm like, I don't know where we're going. I'm like, okay, sounds cool.
I'll
It's
just
probably
follow.
like yeah, I'm just like, I'll just follow along. So we ended up at like some building at the, like, I can't remember why we're there. We're at some building and the rooftop had like no barriers and we're just up there looking. It was cool because you can see the city skyline. It wasn't really city, but there's no barriers. We're just standing at the top looking and like checking out like China. That was really random. Don't know why we're in that building. Ate some weird chicken. And then and it was New Year, so we ended up throwing out those, those fireworks that's like wrapped up in the paper and you throw it and it kind of explodes. Yeah, so we bought like a whole entire bag of it and we're just throwing it out the window.
Actually.
Yeah.
Exactly what they would do.
Yeah.
I think in every like village, that's how people.
That's their ritual.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
ritual. I did that too when I
Yeah.
was in Macau, I think, because I think
Oh.
Macau is more like China. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious as to where you actually
Yeah,
went.
now I really know.
I want to know too. I honestly don't know where I went.
We'll find out and then let us know offline.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Funniest part is you went for 4 days in China and you don't know where you actually went.
I don't know. Like the auntie was like, I'll book you guys tickets. We got a bus. Let's just go. I'm like, yeah, I have nothing to do. I'll go. And then I'm just like,
Okay.
where are we going? Don't know where we're going.
You probably mentioned it.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, yeah, sure. But then you don't understand. You don't speak Chinese, right?
I can, but it's very broken. It's like his level of Cantonese, my Mando is broken, but I can understand it. Actually, on that trip, my friend had a backpack, and because we know that there's a lot of pickpocketers, I don't know how this happened. So this backpack has like a zip, and then inside there's like a pocket, like usually the laptop space. So she shoved her mum's cash in there, like deep down inside. There was no cuts on the bag, but we were coming out of the bus or something like that, and we turned around because I was walking behind her. So there was definitely no one between us. And then it was like a glimpse for 1 second. And I look back at the bag. I'm like, hey, your backpack's open. I'm like, the hell? And she looked at the cash and it was completely gone. And it was like a lot of cash because it was meant to be for shopping. And we were just like, how the hell did someone manage to get into her backpack and reach all the way down with a span of like a split of a second and steal that cash and leave? And I was behind her the whole entire time.
Oh my god, well trained robbers. You know, just
Hey, but that
Yeah.
also happened to well to my friend. She was carrying a backpack. We were in Madrid, yeah, during in April this year, and we were just like checking the Google map. We're sitting at like the corner of the street for like I guess 30 seconds, checking Google map to make sure that we're on the right track. And then someone actually opened her backpack and was able to, thankfully she doesn't have her wallet is like in another like pocket inside of the backpack, and that guy, I guess he didn't have enough time to open that as well, so he basically just stole whatever that's like something that he can see right right away when he opened it, and he stole her scarf, which is still quite expensive. It's Burberry scarf.
Yeah.
And her earphones. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, these people are good.
So skilled.
they're skillful.
So skilled.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was right next to her the whole time, and
You didn't notice a thing.
I didn't notice a thing. Like he just, I don't know how he opened it and then he stole it. I mean, he didn't have the courtesy to close it back. That's how we found out about it. But it's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, gotta
Sneaky.
keep them backpacks safe, guys. Gotta put them in the front, never in the back.
Do it like
Put it inside your
like a really
shirt, inside
tiny-
your
Yeah.
inside your pants, you know, just like
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, cover it with a jacket.
okay. I would say that's quite interesting. Like,
Yeah.
her travel to somewhere in China story. you know?
Somewhere in China story, yes.
We will never know.
We'll never know. It's a secret. We'll never know. But with that said, I'm interested to, I guess, know a bit more like what type of travelers are you guys in general?
You want to start
Well,
off?
for us, yeah, we're pretty cool in terms of how we travel. So if we travel together,
That's cool.
we
We're pretty
kind of
cool.
work with each other.
It's because
Yeah.
I'm cool, that's why.
Oh, well, relax, relax,
Mostly-
relax.
mostly.
Yeah,
Just a polar
I'm.
and
Yeah, I am more of a unorganized person, but I am more YOLO. I like to just do things as it is, but there's got to be an element of some planning. So I'm quite easy, so long that I talk to her and we sort of discuss, hey, this is the plan, this is what we want to do. I'm pretty easy with it. So I think for me, even if I were to travel with friends, I'm the same thing. I'm really whatever. Unless it's somewhere specific that I want to go to, then I would be more particular with where I want to go.
Like Japan.
Yeah, like Japan, for an example. Yeah.
we're in Japan.
Yeah. I would probably go more so Kyoto or Osaka.
I really want to go to Kyoto. Yeah.
It's a really
Yeah.
Where all the street racing.
Yeah, because I'm
and,
really into cars, so
mountains.
that's what I want to go there for, is to see, the action, the car parts and things like that. So that's what I would love to do.
Makes sense.
Like the real life initial D, that's what he wants
Yeah.
to see.
Yeah. I go there for the vibe, for no other reason.
Yeah.
that's nice.
Yeah.
I would say, how about you? Like, do you think? I mean, so funny story. Actually, we need to tell them that we recently traveled together for the first time outside of Hong Kong. And it was quite an experience because I mean we've been friends and classmates for over
2 decades.
Yes. And
Damn.
we've traveled together, right? And this time we had I'll make this really quick, but it's a yoga retreat that one of my friends organized.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
And so it was a really like
It's not Phuket. It's Koh Samui.
oh sorry Koh Samui. I was like, yeah, no, Phuket, Koh Samui.
Yeah.
and we went for like 4 days, 3 nights.
Mm.
And yeah, it was really interesting because I think for us, when we usually hang out, right, we usually hang out in Hong Kong, and it's just really over like dinner and drinks.
Yeah.
But this time it really feels like we're doing stuff together, like we're doing outdoor activities, you know, we're planning where to go for our free time. We're planning just in terms of like, I guess, living style as well. We realize how much different and how
Oh yeah, very very
I mean, we
different.
kind of get a
actually.
sense already before that, but I think
It
going into
confirms
yeah, and it
all of
really
our understanding.
100% confirmed that we're really different. So but I think we kind of just know on top of our head, and
Yeah.
yeah.
I would
In
still
what way was it different?
well, first off, well, so we're supposed to stay in the same room, but because I was not feeling like so
After
well,
your trip,
yeah, so then we decided to just, you know, like book different rooms, so we each have our own space. And I think it's a good thing because for me, for example, if I set the alarm, I like to wake up really early, and I like to set like 4 different alarms. I just already know that I'm gonna turn off one of those and then just wait for the next one. But it's just kind of like a OCD thing, you know. I like to set 4 alarms. And then I told her about that, and she was like,
yeah, no.
thank God we're not staying together, because I would totally just like flip out on you. Like, don't ruin my sleep. Like that's like one thing.
Yeah.
And I think I'm a bit like you, like I'm more of like I don't have a lot of plans. I know there are like certain spots that if I really want to go to, then I would try to include that into my itinerary, you know, regardless of it being the first day or the last day. I would just make sure I get there, and then that's it. But other than that, I'm pretty easy with what happens on a day-to-day basis, what we eat, what we shop for, what we do. I don't care. I like to stay close to the sea, so that's what I do most of the time. I just like lie there, and then like that's about it. But I think you have more planning, actually.
Yeah, I'm a bit more I didn't know this, but I'm a bit more specific into when it comes to traveling. Like I have a list of things that I want to make sure that I hit, or else I'll regret it after the trip. And I think I just put a lot of effort when I go on trips. Like I plan my outfits, or I plan, so there's like really no surprises for me.
Yeah, you do plan your outfits.
I like to plan everything so I don't have to think about it when I just travel. I just go ahead and do the things that I've kind of already planned, and kind of myself doing that experience, or doing that kind of specific activity. So I guess just like really no surprise part, that I realized that I really need that security.
I love surprises.
Yeah, so that's something that we're really different when we travel. But I think
that's kind of a good thing though, because I feel like if one's a bit more organized and then the other one's kind of like more lenient and carefree, then they're more than happy to join on to do what you want to do. And I think that's why we work out so well, is that I'm a bit like you, is that I'm like a bit of in between. I like that freedom and leniency, but I am a bit more organized in terms of just wanting to note down the highlights of what I want to see. Because the biggest thing, not just travel, I hate wasting time. So I like to make sure that everything's planned. So yeah,
Same here.
yeah. I just want to make sure that we're not
Scorpio too, right?
Sorry,
it's not Scorpio.
Scorpio too.
Like horoscope.
You're a Scorpio.
Yeah, I'm a Scorpio.
That's a Scorpio thing.
Scorpio's just
Hey.
That's cool. I didn't know that. Yeah,
I
so
guess we're lazy. We're lazy in nature.
I understand. That makes sense.
That explains it. No, but I think it's
yeah.
great.
So
yeah, you can just balance off of each other, you know.
Yeah, so I usually just make a list. I'll show him the things, like say for example this Korea trip that we went to. It was also quite spontaneous. We weren't actually meant to go there. It was like a very last minute booking, and then I just made a note or just research some of the things that like a must see, because you know, you go travel, you have to see some of the, you know, what's it called?
Sightseeing,
Like the main stuff
touristy
that,
places.
not touristy, but like some of the main things that you want to see, and then some of the other things that are more related to what you enjoy. So I just make a list. I'm like, okay, this is what we want to see, and then like I still make it a thing to ask him, like, do you want to see it? Like, do you want to go here or do you not? And then sometimes he might be like, no, that looks a bit boring or something, and I'm like, okay, we'll just skip it or don't do it unless I'm like, nah, I really want to go here. And he's like, yeah, that's fine. Let's just go.
That's great that you guys, you know, have that kind of common ground and communication, even though you guys are so different from each other, right?
I think so. I think it's more about compromising. Like,
for sure.
obviously, people like us, like, we don't want to plan, but I would appreciate if someone plan for me as well, and if something that I don't have too much, you know, things against, then I would just
tag along.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because you
That's cool.
can't be the one to like not plan and then just be critical of everything. That would just make you an asshole.
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. And I think, well, this kind of transitions to the next questions. Do you guys have any like I guess negotiables and non-negotiables, like when you guys travel specifically? Like, are there any points to that?
Maybe, you know, like stuff that you would bring, or like things that you would do. Say there are people, for example, every time they travel, they definitely have to find a place for like a massage place. I don't know, for example.
That's like a must.
Yeah, for some people, I think, because they get tired.
Yeah, I'll start. So the non-negotiables for me. So I have both negotiables and non-negotiables.
Okay.
So I sort of isolate it into two categories. So if I travel with friends, I am not that I'm lazy, but I'm really carefree. So long that we can enjoy, depending on where we go, so long that we can enjoy where we're going. And as long as everyone is on the same level in terms of agreeing where we're going, that's the main thing. I think being able to communicate and plan out or have a rough guidance as to what we're doing or where we're going, I really don't care too much as to what we're specifically doing. And that goes down to eating as well, because I eat whatever. So, you know, as long as it smells good, show me the food and I'll eat it. It doesn't.
As long as it's bento,
yeah, like I just eat it. So I think for me, it's as long as that is implemented within the planning, then I really don't care. And I feel that it's kind of the same thing with us, because she's more of the planner. And then she'll ask me, like she said before, she'll ask me and say, hey, look, do you want to do this or this or this? And I'll be like, okay, well, if it's food, done deal, I'm in it. But depending on where you might want to go, if it's sightseeing, if it's boring, then I'll tell you straight away. I think the big thing is that communication part, but also compromising too.
I think communication is such a big thing. Yeah, sorry.
Well, I just have thought, and you know, would you guys be okay if, say, like if he told you this place is boring, I'm okay if you go alone, but I just don't want to come with you, then would you guys be okay to just maybe just split off? And
I'd be more than happy to.
Have you guys done that?
I don't think so.
Not while traveling, but just our personality. I'm a person who does a lot of things alone, and there's been many times where he's like, oh, I don't really want to go there, or I don't want to do this. I'm like, that's fine, I'll just go do it myself, or go find another friend to do it.
You don't want to come.
Yeah, well, it really doesn't bother me. I'm not like, oh, you have to do it with me. And if it does come to that point where it's something that I really want to see and he wants to sleep in or whatever, I'm just like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna go check it out myself. Like I'm not afraid to go travel and see things myself. So it's
But in saying that though, if we are traveling like in a different country, then I like if it's something that I don't personally want to do, I will compromise to do it, because one, it's an experience. And two, I'm not going to be here again. So if it's something that I don't enjoy and she really likes it, then I'm going to do it. It's not going to bother me.
Yeah.
That's nice.
What a healthy travel partner.
Well, as long as you don't put an attitude, though.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen guys who like, say, oh, I'll do it for my other half. I'll do it for, you know.
See, that's just a red flag, you know?
But they would show it all on their face. And it's kind of like they go into lingerie shopping with their girlfriends. They said they don't care, but you can tell like the moment they walked in, they want to get out. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
sometimes
No,
it's
the body
pressure.
language definitely is a big thing.
Yeah. I think it makes things even worse. But I just hope that you're not
Mm.
bad.
Nah,
Well,
he's definitely
lingerie is a bit weird though, like for a
That's an
guy,
extreme
right?
well, like you
example.
just patiently wait outside, even if it's laundry. You just chill outside. You're just like, oh, I'll just wait here.
Make him stand there for 2 hours at least.
Do you
Oh
guys
man.
while you guys travel, like do you guys like like besides like planning like where to go and like what food to eat or what restaurants, do you guys plan ahead in terms of like budgeting, like how much roughly you're gonna spend throughout the trip? What are something like how much do you guys are gonna spend for food? Like do you guys do like a breakdown, or is it just kind of like flat on the wall, like whatever feels right?
Yeah. When we saw this question, I was thinking about it. I was like, do we have a budget? I'm like, I don't think we
No, we definitely,
do. Like, we
yeah.
do to an extent, but it's more like we ask our friends, like, how much did you spend here? Or like, how much, yeah, like, because
That's
usually
interesting.
in places that we've been to, friends have been to as well. So we're
Mm.
just like, oh, how much did you spend here? And then they would just be like, oh, because we did so much eating and we went to fine dining, this is why it was this much. Or we did a lot of shopping and this is why it's this much. And then that kind of helps us gauge and be like, okay, realistically, we'll probably be spending between this and that. So that's usually how I would see our budget. And
Mhm.
then how it breaks
Uh,
down, I don't know.
yeah, I think budgeting is always important to a travel, whether you want to travel to a certain country on a tight budget or an expensive budget. I think budgeting in general, you need to know, because then at least you can plan, okay, I need to take this much to this country.
Mhm.
But in terms of breaking it down specifically, I don't think it's really necessary
Yeah.
unless you're someone that likes to know the specifics of where your money goes in and out, then I can understand.
Yeah. And I think that kind of ties back into like the non negotiables and the negotiables. Like, I think it's just thankfully we both have very similar things that we enjoy and like to do. So, like for example, eating food, we're fine with just going street food or like something cheap. Doesn't have to be fine dining unless it's just something that we really want to treat ourselves. But I think that could be a non-negotiable for other people who might be traveling with friends, or what kind of hotel are we going to be
Yeah,
looking at?
Yeah.
situational.
Yeah. But for us, we have very similar styles. So I think we're just lucky that we never really had to discuss that, because we kind of over time picked up that we have similar styles, but that will tie into the budgeting and the non-negotiables as well.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like
Yeah.
they already kind of know each other in such a deep way that it won't be a surprise when they,
That's
travel
true.
together
That's
regardless.
true. But what is the one thing that you guys would be most willing to spend money on when you travel?
Food.
Yeah, I think for you, food, and like I'm open to it. I think we both have that understanding. It's like as long as it's not every single meal where it's like so expensive or whatever. It's like this is definitely something that we really want to try, then yeah, cool. Let's just spend more on it because it is an experience. So yeah, food, and then maybe just some sort of adventure thing if it's something that we've never been to or we've never really tried. And then it's like, let's buy a ticket for this event or something like that. And yeah, I think that's probably something we'll be willing to spend on.
Yeah, I think if it's specifically international travel, we're probably more open to spending like for things that are about experience. So if
Mm,
it's a journey and it gives you that experience for being at a specific country or place, then I think that we were more open to spend that money just to have that experience in general.
yeah. But something that we have done in the past, I think we did it for New York and we also did it for Korea. If there's like those like 3-day pass that allows you to get entrance to a lot of things, like we researched that before so that we know that at least we're saving some money in like the mainstream things, like seeing like Rockefeller or like Statue of Liberty. Like those are all like paid for in this one ticket. And same with Korea, we did something similar. Then that allows us to spend more in other places like better food or like trying a better experience. So there is a bit of research that we do before we travel.
That's good.
Okay.
Would
Yeah.
you do that kind of research? I mean,
Just throwing you under the
Yeah.
bus.
She's like,
Yeah,
crap,
do
I
it,
don't
right?
even do.
I actually don't think I would do that too. Like
I-
that's quite extensive, I think, because
You mean for the past or
pass.
for the past? No,
I think
actually I got a lot
yeah.
of passes when I was in Europe.
Mm.
Yeah, just because. Well, I have a different reason though, because for me, like I'm lazy. I don't want to get there and get lost and just have to do research and like travel on like to get from one place to another on my own. So for me to get past, it's just, oh, someone please take me to that place. I'm willing to pay for it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think the reason we got these passes was one, we actually just stumbled across it. No, actually the New York one my cousin told me about because she lives there. And then it's also because I'm also lazy. I'm like, I'm not gonna buy 50 tickets for 50 different places. Like this one just carries one ticket to all these
It's
places.
conveniency.
Let's just do that. And
It's
it
convenient.
turns out cheaper. Yeah, it turns out cheaper. And then I think Korea also just accidentally stumbled across it when we were just researching what to do. And then there was like some app that was like, you can just buy this and it's got all this cheap stuff. I'm like, done deal.
Makes
I'm
sense.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a quick question. Just because like you guys just mentioned, you do prioritize like the experience more when you are traveling. So say like you travel to Paris, you're in Paris, you have like £200 budget, and then you can either go to up to the top of Eiffel Tower and have like a very simple picnic there. But like picnicking at the top of Eiffel Tower is, it is an experience. Or you can go to like a Michelin 2-star French restaurant and enjoy a really decent meal, like a traditional French meal. So what would you choose?
I'll let you
I was
pick.
gonna-
I think you guys should do like
When
on
you
the
said-
count of 1, 2, 3, and then say your answer and see if it's the same.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have a direct answer though.
Ah,
That's the
okay.
hard part. Yeah. You go first.
I was gonna say kiss me like a French girl. Because you said
Wait,
French.
what?
I don't know why I
What's
thought of that.
paint me like
Yeah,
your
paint me like a French.
hell? Kiss me like, oh my
Okay,
god.
sorry, that was a bit off topic.
Is that what you
Okay.
really want? No
Uh,
judgment.
No judgment.
No judgment. He's free to go kiss any French girl.
Okay, so this is my thought process. Two options. First thing, Eiffel Tower. I need to see one. What's the view look like?
Like,
Two.
is it cloudy or not?
Yeah, is it a shit view or is it a good view?
But you
Okay.
you wouldn't know when you book it. You can
No.
they can
No. Because then you could research there's people who have taken photos there before, right? People have gone before. So then I need to know, okay, what does it look like? Is it, a good view on a good day or a bad day? What does it look like? And
I thought you were
secondly, the
chill.
picnic. I am chill, but I have to think about, is this 200 euro, man? This is expensive. Damn. You got to think like a true Asian.
It's chill until it's 200 euros.
Yeah. 200 euros,
So his
like
limit is
what?
like 199. He's
Then what-
chill at 199.
Yeah, and then the picnic, I need to know what's in the picnic. So what do you get? Is it wine
Bring your
or is
own.
it like a
Bring your own food kind of.
BYO?
Yeah.
I
So you
would
just get a good view.
Yeah.
I would go
And
to the restaurant.
Top of Eiffel Tower.
Restaurant for me. That's
It's because
the
he doesn't want to put in the effort in making the picnic.
yeah
That's
stuff.
why.
I'm lazy.
Ah,
Remember?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the reason why I
Remember
said
back to
mine's
the
not a
first 5 minutes of the convo.
Yeah.
Right.
It's
How
all
can I
about the
forget?
food and the
Yeah.
restaurants.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
can I forget? So important.
Attention to details in the food.
Got
In
it.
the
Got it.
food.
Got it.
Yeah. No, the reason why I said mine is very subjective. Like, I know it's the example is the Eiffel Tower or that Michelin star, but again, both are still experience to me, but it's like how important, if I was to weigh them both, is like one or the other. But in this direct example, like Eiffel Tower versus like a Michelin star, I think Eiffel Tower, I'm not like that particular. Like, I'm good with just seeing it from afar, taking photos and be like, oh, cool, that's Eiffel Tower. And then like Michelin star, if it's something that I don't get to eat. Like it's a cuisine I haven't tried before, or like this chef is very particular or is really good at doing something, I think I would rather pick the Michelin star only because directly Eiffel Tower, I'm like, cool. It looks better from afar than me being on it. Like I don't really see anything from up there apart from the view.
Experience. It's not about a picture.
Yeah. Yeah, like my experience is like seeing that actual thing, like Eiffel Tower for seeing what Eiffel Tower looks like. But if I'm on it, I can't really see the actual Eiffel Tower. So I'm like,
That's fair. That's fair.
That's fair.
yeah.
Okay. I think for the, I guess, last question that we want to ask you guys or talk about is just kind of, I think both of our podcasts and both where we're all from, we're different, right? So I guess just a quick overview of like traveling styles of people in Hong Kong. What are the differences between Aussies, you know? I think maybe we can quickly start off and then we can pass it on to them.
Sure.
But you could touch on a really interesting point earlier.
Yeah, I think, well, it's just from my years of observation. I mean, as a local, born and raised here. And first off, I would say like for Hong Kong people, their love for Japan is
it's insane. You know, they go crazy in Don
insane.
Do they know Don Quixote? It's like a Japanese like supermarket that's in Hong Kong now. They have it in Hong Kong. They have like
I didn't know that.
stores.
Yeah, it's the same in every single store, but I don't know why people love
go
it.
nuts in that store. They can't get out of they go crazy. So
yeah,
their love for Japan.
Yeah, amounts of money that Hong Kong people would spend in Japan every year. I don't know. Is that in an unexplainable level? That's how I could put it. But
like
then
they're not afraid to splash their money in Japan.
Yes, they really, they're not afraid. It's second home for them, for sure. And I think in general, Hong Kong people are quite like they spend a lot on food, that's for sure. And they care quite a lot about what other people think. So then they also spend a lot of money on like, for example, they would line up at a certain restaurant that they get a good review from like a social media, like some influencers account for like a really long time. And once they got in, they ordered the most signature dish and they take that picture and then just, that would be for the majority of the day. They're good for it. And then they spend a lot of time on the grocery stores, I think. Yeah, buy a lot of like
grocery store.
Yeah, I think so.
What are they buying?
Shopaholics. So they like to spend a lot of money on souvenirs, but the souvenirs are mostly food, so it's mostly snacks. So what does that come from is from the grocery.
Yeah.
That's one of the Hong Kong people
traveling styles. Yeah, I think that's quite interesting. And just to, I guess, add on is with the lining up, right? They actually do a lot of, I would say Hong Kong people are okay with planning ahead as well. They plan ahead a lot and all the points and touch points that they have to go to, what are the must-go restaurants. They are really okay with just not really, I don't know how to say it, but I think indulging in the culture is really less in their priority. Really just hitting like the restaurants and the shopping is like their top like must-dos. Of course it varies from like each kind of family or household, right? But I would say a general population of Hong Kong people, that's kind of like their travel like must-dos and styles.
Yeah, if you talk about Okinawa, right? Like some people, I guess like Okinawa is not really famous for shopping, but then if you ask like Hong Kong, like someone from Hong Kong, what they would do when they're in Okinawa, some might say that, oh, I go there for the outlet.
Yeah, for the outlet malls. For like the discounted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so they like to find a good deal.
Yeah.
They're all about finding good deals. Yeah. All about like, buying the most 最抵玩嘅最抵嘅 product.
Yeah.
I
can see that.
That's a bit weird though if they go to Okinawa, because Okinawa is just purely the US guys that are there, so all the prices are generally a bit more jacked up.
Yeah. But it's fairly close to the outlet. I was gonna say like the flight from Hong Kong to
Oh,
from
yeah.
Hong Kong to Okinawa is really an hour and a half.
Really?
Plane ride.
Yeah.
Less
Oh,
than
I
2
didn't know
hours.
I think
Damn.
Very,
that's
very
one of the
Okay.
good things about Hong Kong. Like you guys are so close to all the other Asian countries. The thing about Australia, we are like the only island that is the furthest
Yeah.
from everything. Just to get out of Australia, minimum 7 hours. Just to get out to even just Singapore,
Yeah.
it takes 7 hours. So I think it's good that you guys have like, you know, Thailand, Taiwan, like Japan, Korea, everything's so close, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah, you guys
closest
are close to everything.
is the closest Southeast Asia country from you guys, is that Bali? Like, is that like a 5 to 6 hour flight?
Yeah.
Or
Bali, Singapore, but it's still 8
Okay.
hours to get
Yeah.
out. Like anywhere outside of Australia, just to cross that little
Mhm.
island is 8 hours.
Yeah, it's
Right,
actually quite
right, right.
far.
Well, how
Yeah.
about I guess maybe you guys can kind of share a little bit about how Australians kind of travel, and is there like a particular kind of vibe or style that they go for?
Like
Or you see?
what would be like on the top of their list if they go like visit a new place? Like what would what is the must do? Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell you. I mean, I can't speak. Well, we can't speak
Yeah,
for
it's not our style.
Aussies.
It's all about the booze,
No,
yo.
well, no. So Aussies are, they're very much like they want a good bargain. They want a good deal.
Okay.
So, Guaylos absolutely love Japan
Oh,
because right now there's a lot of deals to travel to Japan. Like the flights are really, really
You
cheap.
mean they're like
And it's
flight
very
deals,
low.
like cheap
Yeah,
flight
they just
tickets?
love bargains in general. So if it's cheap, they'll do it.
Mm.
And if there's beers and there's good, food and it's cheap, they'll do it.
I think
Same reason
if
why they
there's
love Thailand, right?
Yeah.
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 If there's bars, anything that has bars and like unlimited beers and like just big glasses of beers, are like, yep, we're there.
Yeah.
That's why they love Bali as well, because
Yeah.
Bali has a lot of bars and it's cheap.
Yeah.
Bali, like what you told me, it's more white
It's
than
all Aussies that I see.
Yeah.
I don't
because
see
it's
any
cheap. That's why.
Indonesians. I don't see any people from Hong Kong. It's all
That's why
Yeah.
they're there.
Yeah, because it's cheap and it's living there is just really easy. That's why they all migrate, like you said. But it's all about bargain. So if it's a cheap deal, if it's low cost living, they'll do it.
Yeah,
That's
that's why a
true.
lot of them do like hostels, backpacking, because
Yeah.
that's like the cheap way to enjoy the travels, but they can cut back on hostels and like the hotels and stuff and just stay with other people and backpack.
yeah. I guess compared to that, like Hong Kong people are they are way more willing to spend money, yeah, on everything.
Mm,
On like hospitality and just in general.
Yeah, honestly, like if they say like bars, right? Like same thing with bar. If they go to like a different country, I think what they're looking for is like the most Instagrammable bar. It could be like those with like the rooftop view, or like those with like very interesting like Asia's best bar, best 50 bars.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for. But compared to like you just said, like the other people like Guaylo might be looking for, free flow, here I am.
yeah. Maybe I fit in with the honky demographic because I like to look for Instagrammable places and things that look nice. But if it takes like 5 hours to line up, then I'm like, nah, don't worry about it. But if it's easy to get to, looks good, and like may look like a good experience to try, like a cool drink that's like made in some fancy way, then I would be more than happy to try it.
Yeah, that's true.
I think most Aussies are like that to some degree because there's different people that like to travel and spend money in different ways.
Yeah.
So it's a bit hard to sort of narrow it down.
Yeah, but if it's like if you wanted to explain it in a nutshell and to spot an Aussie, I think you'll find them at the bar and at the pubs.
Gotcha.
Yeah, you can also find me at a bar or at a pub.
Find Erica.
Join the Aussies.
Yeah, that's the only thing that we have in common.
I think with that being said, that kind of concludes, I guess, all the questions that we want to ask you guys and discuss. Is there any other questions or last like rounds that you guys want to though.
Yeah, just on the back of that travel style and Aussies versus Honkies, a lot of Aussies like outdoor activities, so camping and off-roading and
Off-roading,
things
yeah.
like that.
Well, they would have
Do
that there.
yeah, does Hong Kong people do camping? And I'm talking about like tent in the bush, not like glamping.
Oh my God. I do have an experience to share on that because see my view on camping it is a very nice thing to do, but also at the same time, me being lazy is that I would want to go with someone who has experienced in doing that, so that, well, at least if I don't know how to set up the tent, then you can teach me how to, stuff like that. So then last time I went with a bunch of friends, which I'm still very grateful for actually. They like a few of them are very experienced campers. Like they even went to, I think they went to Japan or Korea to camp, something like that. But you know, the thing about Hong Kong people is that I told you, like, they love spending money on things. They love spending money on gears, on equipments. Like we have a term for it. It's called 装备蓝. So
yeah.
basically the direct translation would be gear freak. Yeah. So then what I ended up experiencing is I think a 12 hours straight of feasting. So the host, they brought 4 bottles of wine. They bought food good enough for 4 meals, and they were just like non-stop cooking there. They have the pot, they have
Wow.
stove top, they have absolutely everything.
You're
They even
basically
have,
fine
like,
dining at the in camp.
it's crazy. They even have the lights, like a decoration to put around those tents.
Wow.
And for 2-person, they brought a very luxurious tent good enough for 6 people. So they have a floor in
Wow.
front of the tent. So I'm like, okay, Hong Kong people do love camping, but I guess different style.
Camping in style.
Different style. Do you
In
guys
style.
love camping?
I would hate camping.
She would hate camping.
Not for me. Like, I don't like the heat, I don't like bugs, and I don't like being dirty. So no thanks.
That concludes it. Yeah,
Like basically sums it up.
that's true.
Well, camping here in Australia is a different level though, because it's humid here. There's a lot of insects and
The
there's a lot of
spiders. But sorry, is this
spiders, snakes.
Spiders, snakes, like
Yeah.
leeches, and
Yeah, we got
other
heaps of things. Yeah.
random things that can kill you, but we still live with them. It's all good. We're still alive.
Yeah.
you guys don't kill each other, that's fine for now.
Yeah, we're still alive.
Yeah.
But I can imagine that like the campsites would be quite like pretty like nice in
Yeah,
Australia.
it's like actually like living in the
Woods.
woods, in the
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah. Like, I enjoy hiking because I don't need to stay there overnight, but camping where I have to stay there, no thank you.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I would love to camp during winter, but summer or spring, as soon as it hits March, don't bother.
Yeah, it's kind of the same as you guys. When it gets to summer, it's so
It's way
hot.
too hot.
So, and it's storm season, like in Australia when it's summer as well. So it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
Storm, bushfire, I don't know what else, like typhoons and
Yeah.
It's very
all that, cyclones.
And I do want to shower.
Yeah, shower is like
Yeah.
very crucial.
That is
Well, you ain't gonna have a shower.
Yeah. One thing that I'm willing to spend money on now that now when I'm traveling is to at least look for a good enough hotel that has, like, you know, when in those bathrooms they have some like shittier hotels, they have the toilet stall right next to the
Yeah.
shower space, so there's no like separate curtains, separate rooms for that.
Yeah,
I hate
Yeah.
that. It's like the absolute worst setting ever.
that is weird.
Yeah, because I
everything
enjoy
just
my
gets
shower.
wet.
So if I have to do that, that is like a no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're showering in poo.
Like, you
Yeah,
slip into the
yes.
toilet because it's so wet. You just fall
Yeah.
into the toilet.
It's so gross. Like, yeah, I'm done
Yeah.
with that. I'm never doing that kind of stuff again.
Yeah.
Okay. I think with that being said, that kind of concludes our podcast today.
Yeah. I could go on and on about
I
traveling,
know.
but
We just said like
Yeah.
this conversation or this topic just kind of you can just talk about it for
Yeah,
hours and hours.
exactly.
Yeah.
But
Part 2 is coming.
yes,
If anyone is interested.
but thank you guys so much for staying up for us. We know it's pretty late on your guys' end, but yeah, do you guys want to do another quick shout out to your podcast
Yeah.
before we wrap this up?
You want to go?
Yeah.
You can do the honors.
You can find us on Instagram,
Do
the
that-
Can you
duo.
do that voice?
Exactly.
Oh.
Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
joking.
This one? Hey, this one?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
this one.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay.
Attention, please.
Attention, please. You can find us on Ask the Duo podcast on Instagram,
TikTok.
YouTube, TikTok, and iTunes, baby.
Man, what are you talking about?
We have iTunes for
Yeah, Spotify.
and Spotify.
The main
Check
one.
it out.
Check it out.
Amazing,
Good.
amazing.
I like it.
You should have been
Beautiful.
like, 各位观众.
Oh my god.
各位观众，
可以还是
Yeah, you can practice your Cantonese now.
ah,
Thank you,
season
guys.
2. I mean 3.
Sorry, it's a bit laggy, but yeah, I just want to say thank you for taking the time, and we can't wait to be in you guys' podcast next time for our other collaborations in the future.
Yes.
Yeah.
Please invite me. I'll try to think of some other person's voice that I can imitate. I'll come when I'm ready.
Sam can give you inspirations.
For sure.
I'm sure.